me llamo Maria. I'm the homeschooling mom of an 8 and 9-year-old who both requested to learn how to speak Spanish this year. Now, I know zero Spanish. I know zero other languages. In fact, my English isn't even all that good all the time. So this was a huge undertaking, and I spent hours scouring the internet for something that looked like it would be a good fit. Since they were the ones requesting it, I wanted something really fun, really effective, not workbook, not anything that was gonna just suck the joy out of it. So I was very, very intrigued when I learned of the curriculum TalkBox.Mom. And there are a lot of unboxings videos already of TalkBox.Mom, so I don't want to necessarily reiterate everything that's already said. Those are some good references to see what all it comes with. They come with posters that you can put up eye level so your kids can look at it, reference it, you can look at it and references, as well as an app with a native speaker. And the best part of it is it gives you phrases to memorize immediately, practice immediately, and you start having conversations in Spanish the very first day. Now that sounds great, and there's so many people that had a lot of enthusiasm for this program, but I didn't see a lot of videos following up telling you how effective it was working for their families. So I wanted to share a little bit about our experience so far, which I am in love with this program. I love it so much that I'm making this video for my very first YouTube video to hopefully help save you the time that I spent researching Spanish curriculums that I could have spent actually learning Spanish with my family. Let's talk about your options for getting started. If you're really uncertain, some people actually start by just ordering the phrase book from TalkBox.Mom. The phrase book has a lot of the phrases that you would naturally say as a mom throughout your day. And it's a good way just to see if it's going to be of interest to y'all. And I know that there are some moms that started this way and it worked well for them getting started. For us personally, it didn't garner the same excitement as the actual box did. And I think that starting with the subscription box is definitely the way to go. Now, I'm very happy that I purchased the phrase book and we have had fun adding in some of it. In fact, my son is 9 and I tell him every day, all day, to not speak with his mouth full. And he found that phrase in here and wanted to add it, which surprised me because I fuss a lot about it. But the very next meal, the rest of the family actually practiced talking to him with our mouths full, so he had a chance to use his phrase, and he thought it was hilarious, and it was just a really fun way to incorporate the Spanish in there and get the kids excited about using it. So I think it's such a wonderful reference, but I don't think it would have gotten as much buy-in from my kids as a standalone starting point. What we did for our initial introduction to TalkBox.Mom is we ordered the first subscription box, and it's all about snacks. Now, for our family, we actually don't snack a lot. We have our 3 fairly large meals, and then we have an afternoon snack. So with it, it's been something that we've had to switch it up a little bit. I have incorporated a lot of other snacking opportunities through the day. I've gotten some Hispanic-inspired snacks that the kids have really enjoyed having as a different change of pace. The other thing that we added was, so we could get more practice in, is we just made some little felt food. And I thought they were going to be resistant to this because at 8 and 9, they're trying to start kind of pulling away from what they consider babyish. But they ended up loving this. I let them use the sewing machine some, the hot glue gun, and they really had fun. And then we've practiced with our felt food, and that gave us another opportunity other than simply just learning from the app or just waiting 2 meal times to eat. It incorporated some other opportunities for us, and these don't have to be fancy. Like, we literally just looked up pictures of felt food on the internet and did our best with 28-cent pieces of felt from a big box store, and it was great. They loved it. Another thing that has been helpful for us, because they are readers, is I made these little conversation cards, and we keep these as a reference so they can easily look at it and refer to it when we're either playing with our felt food or when we're practicing actually during a mealtime. The other thing that we got started with is before we really got into it, is I found this cereal, and it's ABC cereal, Sesame Street, and on the back they actually have bilingual books. Now, the cereal wasn't particularly their favorite cereal that they've ever had, but it was a great introduction of how we're going to be beginners again, how we're going to learn new sounds, new words, and give each other a lot of grace, and also kind of lay down some kind of rules on how things were going to look. And they liked it. We don't do a lot of cereal, so it was a big treat for them and a great way to introduce and remind them of what it looks like to be a beginner, that it's okay to be a beginner, and to offer each other a lot of grace. One of the things that the program does emphasize is I'm not the teacher. I don't know Spanish. I'm learning right alongside of them. And so it's the app that's the teacher, that we're only going to encourage each other, and we're going to look to the app for any type of correction, for any type of refinement. Which goes into my next thing. The support that you get from the company is amazing. So Adelaide is the founder of TalkBox.Mom, and she does Facebook Lives and has her team in the private Facebook group, just constantly providing encouragement, finding little tips on how to incorporate it in your day, how to keep the enthusiasm up for the amount of repetition that is necessary to truly master these phrases. And it has been so wonderful to have that community just come around us and celebrate our wins, as well as give us ideas of how we can keep going and keep getting that feeding that excitement that we have for learning a new language. In fact, because the kids started talking immediately, they have soaked it up. They have done better with these phrases than I have done, and it left them wanting more. And I don't mean that because there's a deficit in the program. I mean that in the most wonderful way that as a mom you want for your children. So after just a few days of use, I had to go and download the Homeschooling Phrases. It's separate. It's not part of the subscription box, but it's very similar to what you would get in the box. You get a bunch of posters, some reference sheets, and then you get the audio that shows up in your app, so you can help use those throughout your homeschool day. Or if you're not a homeschooler, but you have a child that's doing virtual learning, it is also applicable for them. And that has enabled us to incorporate even more Spanish into our day, which our kids love. Now, I don't have any of the homeschool phrases to show you yet, and I will, because I didn't see any videos on what was included with that yet. But I did send them off to a printer because we don't have a great printer, and I wanted to have those as a really good reference. The kids love to have the posters at eye level where they're easily accessible. They can go and find what they're looking for when they want it. And that's been a great motivator for them to use it, instead of always having to be like, Mom, can we listen to the app? Can you turn your phone on? Or how did you say this? That kind of thing. They can go to the poster and start right away. Now, we are incorporating a few other things. One of the things that Adelaide suggests is that we listen to a lot of Spanish songs. And so we're using Alexa and playing either kids songs in Spanish. We have some YouTube videos that we like and we're enjoying. So that's really our only other exposure. And that's not so much to actually teach us additional Spanish. It's so we're starting to get more accustomed to hearing those sounds that they use when speaking Spanish that we're not familiar with. And so the kids have really enjoyed exploring the culture and exploring just so many new things. I highly recommend this product. If you're looking to get started, I'll leave a coupon code in the show notes to help save you $15 on your first box and book. If there's something else that you would like to know more, if you want to see more about how we incorporate it through our day, or if you have any questions that we might get answered, please leave a comment. We'd love to hear from you. Thanks. Bye.